Hi everyone, Bernard here. I hope you're all very well. Welcome to my Citizen channel and Happy New Year to you. Hope you have a prosperous and safe and healthy 2021. I'm sure things will get a little bit hard before they'll get better, but I'm sure we'll get through it if we all look after each other and get through this. Anyway, happy 2021. What about City, eh? What are City going to do this year? Well, we'll have a look at our next game today, hopefully, as fingers crossed as I'm doing this, it's still going ahead. Of course, at Chelsea, 4:30 p.m, Sunday the 3rd of January 2021. We'll have our usual feature today. A lot of history, boys. A look at the history between, a little bit of history between our two clubs. The odds on the game, obviously with my free just for fun bets, and our regular City magazine feature, looking at what's going on around City at the moment with the January transfer windows open, hasn't it? But I'll leave others to go into great detail about that. But just a couple of things I'll mention. Please, if you're new to this channel and you're not subbed already, please do so, that'd be great. And if you do know any City fans who might be interested, please point them in my direction. I will be always grateful for any new subscribers. And if you check my playlist, obviously, as well as the City stuff, quizzes and City past, City history stuff there, you'll see some movie stuff as well, TV and drama movie stuff. So I do lots of vlogs on films and TV and information vlogs and quizzes on there as well. So if you know anyone or you yourself are interested, please check that out as well, my film and TV channel. That'd be wonderful. And there's a couple of links on screen for Facebook and Twitter as well. So if you follow or friend me on there, I do check every couple of days and follow and friend everyone back, and I post loads of stuff on football, films and TV as well on there, so that'll be great. Right, let's have a look at this, shall we? So away at Chelsea, what have we done? Well, we played 75. It's not one of our greatest grounds, is it? Stamford Bridge, or if they played somewhere before that, I'm not 100% sure. I have to check on these things. I'm never sure. Not the greatest place to visit anyway. Chelsea away. Played 75. This is in the league. Won 15. Only won 15 games. That's one of the least, I think, of any club, to be honest with you. Even Liverpool. It's not. I don't think it's it's a similar sort of thing. But we never get anything at Anfield, do we, or Liverpool? Yeah, we won 15, drawn 22, and lost 38. Scored 80 goals and had 124 scored against us. So there you go. Our biggest win. Yeah, an interesting game. Programme's there. The image will be on the screen as well. 78-79, a 4-1 win. I'll put a link to the game in the corner. It's still out there. A couple of minutes highlights of that game. I'll stick that in the corner. A very sunny day at Stamford Bridge. 16th of September 1978. So yeah, it was 29,960. Not a bad crowd for Chelsea. They didn't always have great crowds, did they? So I mean, if you look at the City team that day, it was Corrigan, Viljoen, I think he was making his debut that day. Donachie, Power, Watson, Futcher, Paul Futcher, Shannon, Owen, Ron Futcher. I'll emphasise the difference in a moment. Hartford, Barnes, and the sub was Tony Henry, who was unused that day. Chelsea, for instance, had Peter Bonetti. The late Peter Bonetti died very recently, didn't he? In goal, Locke, Harris, Lewington, Hay, Wicks, Swain, Wilkins, Langley, Stanley, and Duncan McKenzie, I think, was making his debut for Chelsea. Sub was a guy called Britton, so not overly familiar names there. Ron Harris, obviously, we know him, don't we? And Wilkins, we know Ray Wilkins, but not one of the greatest Chelsea teams. I don't think they were doing that well. It was only early doors, but I think we were about 5 games in, but Chelsea were nearer the bottom than the top, and we were just above halfway, I think. Yeah, and if you watch the highlights, it was Shannon got us off to a great start. Little toe poke into the corner past Bonetti. Asa Hartford hits the post, and Shannon involved a lot in this game. I mean, he gave it to Futcher to make it 2-0, and he again supplied another ball to Futcher to make it 3-0. And Hartford gave Futcher his hat trick, and it was a perfect hat trick. It was left foot, right foot, and on his head. So, and even in correct order as well. So it's one goal after another. So it's a perfect hat trick for Ron Futcher as opposed to his brother Paul. So there you go, 4-0, and Chelsea did get a late consolation goal. Well, a good day at Stamford Bridge, and we say it's not there weren't many of them over the years, so that's all we can say. Yeah, our biggest loss at Chelsea was 6-0. 6-0, yeah, we had one of them scores at the Etihad against them, didn't we, on the 27th of October 2007. So there you go, Mr. Avram Grant was in charge at Chelsea. I don't think I need really to tell you who was in charge of City at that time, but I will do. I'll not bother with the link to this one though. I think we best leave that on watch day. Team humiliated that day. by a Frank Lampard-inspired Chelsea. They had goals from Essie and Drogba, scored twice. Joe Cole, Kalu and Shevchenko scored in the last minute just to add insult to injury. City's team that day, Hart, Corluka, Dunn, Richards, Garrido, Ireland, Haman, Johnson, Petrov, Alano and Samaras, and Vassell came on, Ball came on, and Bianchi came on for City. Yeah, and of course, Mr. Sven-Goran Eriksson was our manager that day, and he was interviewed after the game and said, we forgot how to defend. If you give a team like Chelsea space and time, that won't happen. It was very bad defending from our side. We have to be much better than that. I mean, I think we were third in the table at that stage as well. It's been a good story so far this season, but I'm sorry for the fans who travelled here. There are a lot of them here. They wanted to see us play good football, but not to lose like we did. People are talking about us playing good football, but we have to defend and be very aggressive. If you don't do that against a team like Chelsea, this happens. So yeah, not the greatest day, was it? Were you there? I wasn't there that day. If you were there, just any thoughts on that one? That must have been so embarrassing. And the last time we met, of course, was only in June, 25th of June 2020, and what a depressing game that was. I look back at my little vlog on that game, and I'm not a happy chapping. It was a night that mathematically we handed Liverpool the title, wasn't it, last season? As I did comment that we lost our title with a whimper. And that's another link to a game I've lost that one. I haven't got a link to that one. I'm sure if you want to suffer with that one again, you can watch that. But yeah, it was a bit depressing. Mendy had a nightmare game that night. Gundogan and Mendy both contributed to Pulisic putting Chelsea ahead. A great KDB free kick obviously put us back in it, but we never seemed quite winnable to me that night. We had some Walker heroics as well, clearing off the line, fantastic, like a bit like a la John Stones against Liverpool. He had a Walker heroics. I thought it was in the goal, and he managed to I think he overheaded it off the line at the last minute. And then we had Furner sent off for a handball and a penalty for Chelsea, which sort of just finished the game really 2-1. I think it was about the 73rd minute, something like that. So yeah, very depressing. As I say, we went out with a bit of a whimper. Mendy was awful. We'll talk about Mendy in a moment. Possession-wise, we had 65% of possession, but Chelsea managed 15 shots, 10 on target. We managed just 11 shots, 2 on target. It wasn't that long ago, but it does seem a long time ago now. But yeah, it wasn't the greatest night for us, was it? How are they doing? Well, they find themselves in 6th position, on the same points as us with 26, but they played 2 games more at the moment. And they do actually come into this game badly in need of a win. Mr. Lampard's under a little bit of fire at the moment, despite doing okay and having some good moments. Chelsea have lost 3 of the last 5 games in the league now, which isn't great. And the 1-1 draw at home to Aston Villa it was fairly even. It could have gone either way. That Chelsea just had slightly the more play, etc. But it certainly could have gone Aston Villa's way as well. And Mr. Timo Werner, that was his 11th straight game now without a goal. So we know what that means, don't we? If he plays, I mean, he'll probably score an hat-trick against us. You know, that's sod's law, isn't it? They call it. Yeah, he came from Leipzig in the summer, and he will be sort of hungry to stop that drought, won't he? And Olivier Giroud, who's been linked with City a couple of times. I've seen little links with City. Has been a revelation for Chelsea. He's playing really well. He's always been an okay player. I thought he's a pretty good player myself in playing in the right team. So he's been a bit of a breath of fresh air in a team that's obviously struggling a little bit at the moment. They could be without the services of Hakim Ziyech, the Moroccan playmaker. He's a doubt, and obviously Reece James, right back, is also ruled out because of a knee injury. Yeah, I mean, my thoughts on this game. I mean, despite this poor recent Chelsea run, it'll not be easy, this, will it? Not if you can think of it. I mean, we were high on confidence, but we'll have to see how much this COVID thing is going to affect us, isn't it? And I'll be honest with you, based on this COVID problems, I would be quite happy with a draw here. I'd like us to sneak a win. But Chelsea are quite capable of turning it on despite this recent slump, and it will be a really tough game. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Chelsea edged the win as well. But yeah, it will be interesting to see how we perform and how our confidence is, which should be up at the moment, but obviously after the COVID thing, let's face it, I think I've not had it confirmed. I've got that Ederson, Cancelo, Walker, Torres and Jesus have all got this COVID. So that's the 5 names I got down, and I think Ederson's been confirmed. So it's a bit of a worry. I mean, he's our goalie. I do. Stefan's okay, but it's a big ask, isn't it? So I think my lineup, if that's correct. I mean, obviously right back was struggling out, so I've put Steph in there. I put Aki as right back. I don't know. We obviously may have another option, Diaz and Stones, and then I don't want to put Mendy in because he had a disaster against Chelsea, and it'll be on his mind. I'd rather Zinchenko playing a left spot rather than Mendy, but I'll put Mendy in for the sake of it. But he's going to have to improve vastly, isn't he? Gundogan, Rodri, KDB, Bernardo, Aguero, Sterling and Mahrez. I'm starting Aguero as well. I mean, you know, with five really of our better players out, or options, better options if you like, it is really a worry. And I say that I'm not convinced, and say I'm not convinced about Stefan yet. I'm sure he'll do as good a job as he can, but I think we might be struggling a little bit in this one. Match officials, you've got Anthony Taylor as the ref, assistants Gary Bezic, Adam Nunn, and the fourth official is Peter Banks. On VAR, we've got Mike Dean, so we'll double jeopardy, Taylor and Dean, eh? Can't ask for worse than that, can we? Well, we probably can. Assistant VAR is Baron Can. It's on Sky Sports. Yeah, so my score prediction, yeah, as I say, I'm a little bit worried. I hope for 2-1. My heart's hoping for 2-1, but I'll be happy with a 1-1 or a 2-2, to be honest with you. Let me know what you think anyway, but it will be an interesting game. We're going to have to be everyone. If you know, if Zinchenko plays or Mendy plays, whoever it is, they're all going to have to be at it. They're all going to be on top form for this one, I think, for us to get a victory there under very, you know, we have some pretty dark circumstances at the moment, and all the teams laugh out about size of squads, but say it's not just that, is it? It's also the effect it has on other players, etc. Yeah, the odds, so please, I don't ever condone gambling. You know, ever gamble what you can afford. Nice profit against Newcastle with a 13-2 on the 2-0 win. So I made a nice 4.5 point profit on the day, so that was okay. For the Premier League, Liverpool have gone from odds on now to 11-8 against to win the title. So a couple of dodgy results, and they drift out. City down to 13-8 now. You can get 7-4. And Chelsea 25-1 to win the league, which isn't bad, is it? But the 10-11 to finish top four was a little bit mean, in my opinion. I think that's a little bit tight. The match odds, City are 13-10, so odds against, that's very unusual these days. So if you've got the faith in a win, that's a nice little price. 13-5 the draw, 21-10 Chelsea. First goal scorers, yeah, you got Aguero at 4, Sterling 5, Mahrez 7, KDB 15-2. Abraham, Giroud are both 6-1, Werner's 7-1, and Pulisic, if he scores like he did last year, the first goal scorer, he's 9-1, so that's not a bad price. Both teams to score 4-7, a bit restricted because I think both teams will score. 6-4 for a no on that one. Correct score, so this is where I'll get my first couple of bets. 0-0 is 14-1, 1-1 is 7-1, very possible, but I'm going to go a point on 2-2 at 13-1. City wins, if you're looking at a City win, 1-0 is 21-2. A 2-1, I'm going to have a point on this as well. 2-1 is 19-2, so I'll risk a point on that. 3-1 is 19-1, very possible. But if you fancy to Chelsea to sneak it, 1-0 is 12-1 and 2-1 is 21-2. Half-time, full-time, a draw on City's 5-1, draw on Chelsea 6-1, City 3-1, Chelsea 7-2. Not much in these, is there? City in a draw's 12-1 and Chelsea in a draw's 14-1. And my last bet, I say I'm only doing a couple of correct score bets and a anytime goal scorer bet. Aguero's 13-10, a bit mean. Sterling's 5-4, a bit mean. Mahrez 5-2, a bit mean. KDB's not bad, 9-4, but until he gets his shooting boots back on, and you know, unless we get a penalty, I'm not confident at all. But you can get 6-1 about Gundogan, so I'm going to have a point on that. I'm going to have a point on Gundogan to score at 6-1. On the Chelsea side, got Abraham at 2-1, Giroud at 2-1, and Werner at 13-5. Winning margin's an interesting one. You could pick either of these two, actually. A one-goal winning margin for City's 10-3, so that's not a bad price. And a one-goal winning margin for Chelsea's 9-2. Again, a good price if you fancy Chelsea. The under-overs, yeah, over 2.5. I think we're fairly confident of that, but it's only a pretty measly 8-11. So if it was 2-2, like I said, you could get 7-4 and over 3.5. So that's more interesting. But as I said, I'll stick with a couple of bets on the correct score and the anytime goal scorer. Let me know what you're doing, if you're doing anything particularly. Now, just on to the regular City magazine features, what's going on there. Yeah, it was interesting over Christmas, some nice Christmas images of the players. And it made me think, if you looked at, not particularly the players, but I'm looking at the girlfriends and wives, so who would you like to spend the company of? And I did my top 6, and obviously you have a look at there on screen. See what your top 6 is. I mean, as I said, Bernardo was my favourite. That I think could have a good time and be made comfortable. But some of the others, I mean, I've put Sergio in 6. I was just not 100% sure his girlfriend, or yeah, is it girlfriend? Is it would be be fun to be with. So yeah, that's how I've rated it. Not particularly the players. I'd spend the time with all the players, but obviously it's where would you feel most comfortable? Anyway, see what you do. See what your order of the top 6 is, and stick it on there. Let me know. That'd be interesting. Yeah, Foden. We had more from Pep on Foden, didn't we? I said we were seeing why he's perhaps not playing as often because Pep has reservations. And he did sort of back this up over the last few days, Pep, by saying certain things in interviews. He said he's got incredible energy, but in the final decision, in the final pass, he has to slow down a little bit. He wants to win and eat the world, but you need experience to be more calm and slow down. He plays football in the same rhythm, and football must be played in different rhythms. Interesting thoughts, that, isn't it, on Foden? Certainly. It explains Pep's reluctance perhaps to play him every game. And but having said that, unless he's playing a lot of games, how's he learning? How's he going to learn this? So, yeah, but I can see what he means about it's a bull in a china shop sort of thing, isn't it? I did say that a couple of previews ago about Phil Foden, and perhaps but unless he's playing regularly, how's he going to learn? I mean, this is the thing. Bringing him on in the 90th minute in a game isn't very useful, is it? Let's be honest, Pep. So it's a bit of both there. I'm sort of can understand what Pep's saying, but I'm a bit down on why you can't do other things. Right, on to stats. Yeah, I do like my stats, obviously, but it's interesting to see that City have ended the year as the highest ranked English club in UEFA's 5-year club coefficient ranking. Now, we don't get any awards for it, we don't get any trophies for it, but it's nice to see. We're in 6th place overall in Europe, so that's nice to see. Not too sure the last season would have sort of improved our overall standing. We probably, some of the others may have caught up with us in England, Liverpool's, etc. But that was interesting to see. And of course, on the sort of thing, Globe Soccer Awards have named Pep the coach of the century. How can you have a century? We're only in 2020, got another 80 years yet. I won't be around for it, but most of us won't be around for it. Let's be honest about it. But I'm not sure how he can be called Pep. Named coach of the century. Coach of the century so far, perhaps for the first 20 years. That's fair enough, but very odd reward that. Anyway, well done, Pep, for that. Leslie Ross, yeah, we love to feature Leslie Ross. Some great stuff of that famous book, that picture of Sergio in the background there. That's Leslie Ross's work, fantastic. And a great Raz sketch there up there, isn't there? If you're at 111 Leslie 111, she's done some really good stuff. So give her a follow and check into all her things. But that's a wonderful. I like that. You know me and my artwork. I'm a bit picky sometimes, but that's a really great sketch of Raheem. And yeah, the COVID brought one or two little jokes out. I saw one that it was on a video where they were dancing in a room in isolation with all the masks on and stuff, and I thought it was quite funny. City's training session was this sort of, I think that was Fat Toasty, a guy called Fat Toasty on Twitter. That was funny, but obviously the one on screen there from Lee Palmer was one of the better ones, obviously. An image of the new City kit that we're wearing for the foreseeable future with this COVID thing. So it's nice to see, obviously, the gallows humour, the dark humour side's always nice to see out, isn't it? And yeah, of course, as I said, January transfer window's opening. We've had links with Costa. I don't like the guy, and perhaps he'll do a job, but I can't stand the bloke, to be honest with you. Obviously, Haaland rumours are going to be there, but there's no way Haaland's coming in January, I wouldn't have thought. And of course, we're going to hear about Messi, aren't we? So I'll leave other people to do the conjecture on the transfer window. All I will do is react as and when a deal is done. I'm not going to react to any sort of this what's happening, what might be happening, etc., etc. So you won't get any of that on my little City magazine features. I have no idea. If I suddenly find out something, I will tell you, of course. But I'm not going to have any conjecture or have any idea. I'll leave that to other guys who are doing vlogs, etc., and the media and the newspapers, etc. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Of course, I'll be back with a match review of this tough Chelsea game on Monday the 4th of January 2021, and please check out my recent City Present, City Past vlogs. That was the week that was featuring the Newcastle game and some questions on the Everton abandoned game as well, just some general questions on Everton, so please, that's proving popular. Have a look at that. And of course, I'll look back on the 77-78 season with the aid of the Supporters Club handbook for that season. Some little quiz, little test of your knowledge, etc., and some information, personal memories, etc., on there. So if you can have a look at that, fantastic. Anyway, thanks for joining for this big match preview. Hopefully you'll join me again very, very soon, either on this channel, the Citizen channel, or you'll flit over to my film and TV channel. But until then, please, all I can ever ask is please stay safe, everyone. Let's all look after each other. Look after your families, look after your friends, and it's important that 2021 we go out and actually make a bit more effort perhaps we did towards the end of 2020, as we got a little bit tired. I think I certainly got tired, but let's start 2021 with a bounce in our step and look after everyone. Anyway, until we meet again, please stay safe, Blues. Bye for now.